When you're looking at getting your personal finances organised, it can be overwhelming and be difficult to know where to start. You don't learn this stuff in school and it can seem like everyone else has it under control except for you. I can guarantee this isn't the case. I've worked with six-figure businesswomen who haven't got round to sorting out their money stuff. You're not alone, and there is never any judgment here. I know you've already achieved a whole load of great things this year, so why don't you take 5 minutes and just jot down what those things are? Take a look at your list. I think you'll be really amazed. But just because you've done great things and got an epic standard of life doesn't mean you can't still have some goals or things on your vision board. To help you make progress towards getting your money working for you, here are 7 simple financial goals that I work on with all my clients. I promise it'll be nothing overwhelming, and they'll all be things you can start working on today to catapult you towards that financial confidence and peace of mind. Hi, I'm Claire Sweet, money coach and qualified financial advisor. For the last 14 years, I've been working in financial services sector and I run a successful financial services business. I'm going to help you walk into wealth enriched, empowered and excited. And remember, if you've got any questions, to post them below, because at the bottom of each video, I answer one viewer's question. Goal number 1, spend less than you earn. This is an important personal finance foundation. Do you know how much your monthly outgoings are? If they're consistently exceeding your earnings, then you may be in a cycle of using credit to fund your lifestyle. Create tactics for yourself to help avoid overspending. And you can watch my other video on how I use money pots to make sure the money is always in the right place at the right time for various spending needs. I think it's important to create a life that you love now. And I'm sorry, but that's never going to happen without actively choosing how you spend your money. Because if you want to spend £250 a week in Sainsbury's on good quality food, you'll need to spend less on other things. And if you're planning a £10,000 exotic holiday this year, that's £833 a month that you need to be putting aside. And that money can't then be spent on nights out on new shoes. Choosing how to spend your money and how to grow your wealth is the most exciting thing about managing your money. And as long as you're building it on rock solid foundations, it will all work out the way that you plan. Goal number 2, create an emergency fund. Have you ever been saving towards an amazing goal? Maybe that dream holiday, but then your boiler packs in and you have to dip into your savings and then you're back to square one. It's so disheartening. My next simple financial goal is to create an emergency fund. This is recommended to be 3 to 6 months worth of your personal expenses. So figure out what that amount is and start to put some money aside to build that fund. And then you know that whatever happens, the money you're putting away for your dream or your holiday can be in place and not be derailed because you have a financial crisis at home. Having an emergency fund and safety net means you're much less likely to need to dip into your savings, and it gives you that extra level of security should you lose your job or become too unwell to work. Goal number 3, start investing for your future today. Your future plans will usually involve money in some way, but if you don't actually take any action, in 10 years' time you'll be in the same place as you are now, and it will be even harder to achieve your goal as you'll have 10 years left to get there. So let's say you open up a pension account but never get round to putting any money in it. You've worked out you need £39,000 for the first 7 years and then £9,000 for the remaining 19 years. So a pot of £444,000, although obviously it'd be great to have more. To achieve a pot of that size, you need to put in £400 a month as a contribution and let it grow at a rate of about 6.5%, which is quite feasible in an average fund. But the bad news, if you'd started 10 years ago, your retirement pot would be more than double this at just over £900,000. But not paying in over the last 10 years, as well as the £48,000 worth of contributions you haven't put in, you've also missed out on the growth of your money. And this is the same with any sort of pension or investment fund. The sooner you start to grow the money, the sooner you'll see results. Now you've probably got questions, so ask in the comments below. And while you're there, I'd love you to share what you're going to do today to move towards your goals. Goal number 4, pay off high interest debt first. High interest debt, like credit card, will be costing you more money than the interest you will have by leaving the money sat in savings, so it's best to pay it off as soon as you can. I know most people are attracted by the thought of being mortgage free, but your mortgage debt is often the cheapest debt you will ever have, so it makes sense to pay off everything else first and only pay this off once all of those other higher interest debts are repaid. And remember, some mortgages have got an early repayment charge, and if you pay it back early, you may even face a penalty from your lender. Goal number 5, create multiple sources of income. It's often said that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Multiple streams of income means you have income coming from different sources, and if one of these sources were to fail, for instance you're made redundant, you have an alternative to fall back on. This protection from instability with your finances could come from rental property or passive income. Maybe you could write a book or create a course to help others do what you do best. Goal number 6, get clear on feeling wealthy and what that means to you, and then do the things that help you achieve that. Remember at the start of the video when I said you should write down the things you've achieved and things you should be thankful for? Well, this is where this comes in, because the money you earn does not determine your wealth. When I think of my vision board, I've got an image of myself sitting under a tree in the garden reading a book. It's not actually about reading the book. I can read whenever I want. I've ploughed through books since I was a child, but the idea of sitting out and relaxing means I have nothing to worry about. Knowing the money's still coming in and the bills are still being paid, that I can spend my time however I want without stress and without worry. So what does wealth mean to you? Now, before the last simple financial goal, please take a minute to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. It really does matter. Goal number 7, create a budget and plan for your money. I'm a great believer in a budget planner, but you can do it on an app or just a piece of paper if you need to. Add up how much money comes in each month from every source that comes into your household and deduct all the costs of your essentials like your food and direct debits and petrol. Then take off the money for the nice to have stuff like clothes, meals out, haircuts, and finally deduct anything that you pay for once a year, those big things like Christmas presents, summer holidays, car insurance. Divide the total amount by 12 and put that onto your budget planner too. All being well, when you take off the outgoings from the incoming, you should have some money over. What will you put that towards? Make a plan. Okay, time for today's Ask Claire question. Now it comes from Lisa and she says, how can I make sure my family has money to pay for a funeral when I've gone? I'd hate for them to be on one of those GoFundMe sites. The answer is there are 3 main ways to pay for a funeral: savings, life assurance, or a prepaid funeral plan. Now, some people do a combination of these. So for example, they have life assurance running while they build up a savings pot that they plan to use for their funeral. But other people choose to prepay by going to a funeral director of their choice and paying for a plan that means that once you've spent the money, even if you don't die for the next 20 years and the price of funerals goes up, they guarantee that they will still cover the full cost of the funeral for the family. So there's no risk that the money that's in the pot won't be enough to pay the thing that you want. I hope this video has helped move you one step closer to where you want to be with your wealth.